Guys, top of the morning. Happy January 14th, coming to you alive, coming to you well, coming to you rested, and coming to you fully excited. Like I said, I got here into the office at 5 a.m. this morning. You guys know I live about an hour and 15 minutes away from the office with no traffic. And so I'm just excited. There's something about the stillness of the morning. My house is still, the office is still, the neighborhood is still, and it just feels really, really good to get here and just be an example for you guys. Listen, morning routines are everything to me. It has separated me in life and business, and it's just, it's really important to have that time in the morning to reflect. I'm reading the book like a lot of you are, Discipline is Destiny. So I'm reading that and then I get to listen to it for an hour. You guys, one of the most powerful books that I've read in the last couple of years. So if you're not reading that book because you're not in intensity, highly recommend that you grab that book, listen to the book, read that book, download that book. That book is absolutely incredible. And they share some really, really cool stories in that book. So we're going to have, per usual, have somebody bring us out on the field, set the tone, set the sentiment. And you know what, my friend, I've missed you. So I'm going to turn it over to Ashley and she's going to do that for us. And so Ashley, good to see you, my friend. Let's roll. You know how that goes. Let's have you bring us out on the field on this beautiful morning.
Good morning and happy Wednesday. And on the line of thought of morning routines, I've recently started 75 day soft. I'm going to do 75 day hard later in the year, but 75 day soft is helping me get back on those morning routines, and it really is life changing. My message for the morning in honor of Market Wednesdays is that it really doesn't matter what's happening in the market. As we all know, it matters how many people we can get in front of, however we can get in front of them, and people knowing who we are. Now, the good news is with interest rates traveling closer to 6% and mortgage applications nationally up about 13% year over year and 16% week over week, those activities are about to get more fruitful. So if you've already survived the last year, 2 years, 3 years, those were some of the hardest years ever in real estate. So if you've been surviving, you've been thriving in those years, life's just about to get that much easier with what's coming this year.
Well, wonderful, wonderful. And you tell Jacob if he can hear us. We say good morning to Jacob, who is our resident student of Keep It Moving.
I will let him know. He's doing his stuff upstairs, but I'll let him know.
All right, you let him know. So you guys, really excited about today, really excited about the conversation. And in reading the book, The Discipline is Destiny, there's so many really great stories of athletes, of kings, of people that we admire in life and business. And there was a story about Coach John Wooden, and I wanted to bring the story up because I thought it was really applicable to us and what we do. And hopefully you guys can make that correlation because I most certainly did. And when they talk about him in the book, they talk about how he enters in every season with all these skilled players. Some of them will go on to be all-stars. Some of those people will go on to be NBA players, so on and so forth. And he starts every single season in the locker room and he slows everything down and he tells them about putting on their shoes. And it was the most simplest of things. Now, it probably annoys some people in the locker room, like, okay, what is this guy talking about? Come on, coach, let's get to it. We're here to play. And he said, no, we're going to slow everything down and I'm going to teach you how to put your shoes on. And I wanted to share this with you, and we'll make the correlation in just a moment, but I'm going to read some things out to you because I put some notes together for you guys. And so here's how it goes, and here's the meaning of all of this. How to put on your shoes. And here's what the coach did. On the first day of practice every year, he would gather all the players, like I said, future Hall of Famers, future, NBA players, all-stars, and he would teach them how to properly put on their socks and their shoes. Well, you're thinking, I'm an athlete. I know how to do this. Like, let's throw me the ball. And here was the step-by-step process, which was very, very simple, but I want to make this land for all of us. Put the sock on tight, eliminate every single wrinkle, literally any single wrinkle in your sock. You pull that thing up as tight as you can, lace the shoe properly for starting from the bottom all the way up. Don't rush it. Don't be sarcastic about what you're doing. I'm not going to apologize for having you do this. We're just going to do this no matter what. Like I said, some players were confused, some players were annoyed, some thought it was beneath them, but Wooden did not care. And here's the real reason why he was doing this and what he was teaching everybody. Respect the fundamentals. Wrinkled socks cause blisters. Blisters cause pain. Pain causes distraction. Distraction causes games. You might be the all-star player on this team, but you got a busted toe, you have blisters, then my friend, then you might have to sit out and you're impacting your game, you're impacting the team, and you're impacting our potential to win. If you neglect small things, they will sabotage big moments. And I thought that lesson in his teaching was really, really powerful. If you neglect small things, they will sabotage big moments. That's life, that's business, and that's leadership. And the reason why I wanted to share with you is on the simplest of terms. If you guys are going out and building and you guys are doing the prospecting, you're getting the leads. Well, if you don't have the basic of putting on your shoes, meaning how to run your CRM, how to do an effective buyer consultation. But let's back up. If you're in this game, you're saying, oh, I got my real estate license, I'm ready to go. If you don't even have a schedule, a calendar that you are sticking to, then my friends, you're not even doing the fundamentals. You're not even putting on your shoes properly. So what's going to happen? You're going to go out there and start running the game, and then you're going to feel overwhelmed. And what you're going to do is you're going to crash, and that's not good for you, and that's not good for the team. So I heard that lesson, and it was really, really powerful about just making sure that your fundamentals are locked in. Each of you should have all of your fundamentals down to a science. It's kind of like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And when we think about a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, okay, that's pretty simple, coach. Well, is it? Like, how do you make it? Well, I just put peanut butter and jelly on the bread and I make it. Well, no, no, no. What do you do first? I walk into the pantry. Okay, what do you do secondly? I put it on the counter. What do you do third? I get out the knife. What do you do fourth? Right? And like step by step. So I want you guys to think about your fundamentals. I want you to go back to Coach John Wooden. I want you to read the book if you're not reading the book already. And really, really think about that and his lesson of how we cannot do the big things unless we have truly, truly mastered the smallest things in our business. And when you start to analyze where your business is at and the gaps and the opportunities to grow, you'll find that some of that is rooted in your fundamentals, right? I can look around the screen right now and I can know that some people don't have a CRM that is working for them. So you guys, I want to share that thought, that sentiment, and we'll go around the room. I'm going to get some thoughts and feedback from anybody on the call. Let's go, Jeff. Let's go, Carlos, and let's go, Cassie. Let's get some thoughts, contribution, and dialogue on the conversation thus far. And then we're going to get into some really cool stuff.
It's funny you call on. I mean, I don't know why you called on me. I don't know if you saw my, I don't know, expressions or nodding or whatever. But the Pyramid of Success, John Wooden book, incredible book. I read it to my kids. I reread it occasionally, and just it's building that foundation, building each level until you reach greatness. And it doesn't matter if it's sports or business, relationships. It's about the little things. And I've been talking with Ashley about this and others. When we do enter a refi cycle, like we're, anticipated, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. But as we enter a refi cycle, you better have your shit like down. You better know the ins and outs of the flow. You got to know you got to be perfect on it because there's going to be so much volume that you can't, take an extra beat in order to, make you have to know your stuff. You have to have all your fundamentals down. Everybody in the process that touches the file has to know what they do, the checklist. So we've been talking about that and preparing for that. And I quote John Wooden a lot, and I just find it very inspirational what he was able to do with his teams throughout the 60s and 70s and the success. And it really does come down to those little things. It's like going to Disneyland. The little things always matter. So, and we don't think about that in the big picture, but it's all those little things that build up and breed the success that we end up having.
I love it, Jeff. And yeah, I had no clue that you talked about or have talked or read books. I didn't even know this was a book. And now obviously I'm going to add that to my library, but I appreciate your contribution per usual. Let's go over to Carlos, then we'll go over to Cassie. Carlos, with this fresh shaved face, heading to Patagonia next week to go on a camp or a hiking trip and explore the world. My man, give me thoughts, dialogue, and contribution on the conversation thus far.
I think it's super funny that I joined today to this group today because I haven't been here in about 2-3 weeks, so it's been quite a bit of time, and so when you said, if you neglect the small things, will sabotage the big moments. I totally see that. I totally resonate with that because, I kind of like lost like my momentum a little bit during this holiday season. Most because I do have another job and that job kind of takes a lot of my time during the holiday season. But coming back to this group and this group coaching has been really inspiring again, where I'm like, man, I just completely forgot about like the basics, like show up to coaching, show up, be in the room, be where it happens. And that really resonated with me. So yeah, and so yes, I'm freshly shaven. I'm going on my patio going to gym on Saturday. I had that lunch today with the Hustles lunch. So it's been, even though I kind of like lost momentum a little bit, it's kind of nice to, be recognized a little bit. So
We recognize you, and I'm so glad to break bread with you. That restaurant's it's really cool. It's funky. It's swanky. Super, super healthy food. The hamburger is like it's not that good, but anyways, it's just a cool opportunity for us to come together. And then I brought some really cool things for us to do at the table today. So, my man, congratulations to you once again. Let's go to Cassie. Cassie, give me a thought, contribution, and dialogue on the conversation thus far, and then we are going to shift gears.
Yeah, I think like now going in a little bit, learning a little bit more, I've realized that I kind of have neglected my routine and my work, whereas I put a lot of effort or into my routine, obviously with my kids. So I think this year going in, I really want to like hone down and get my stuff together for work. I really want to put in more effort in my routine. And like if I could do it for my kids, then I can do it for myself.
Man, I say this all the time. If you could raise whole ass humans, you could raise a whole ass business, right? Like doing their hair, getting them ready, disciplining, going to
Right.
school, like all the things that we do as parents, right? We're managing lives. Well, if you took those same principles onto your business and put that same love and dedication into it, I promise you, all things will grow. So I appreciate that sentiment, my friend. How many kids do you have?
I have two kids. I have a soon to be 6 year old and a soon to be 3 year old.
Wow, I love
Yes.
it.
Thank
Such
you.
fun ages, right?
Yeah, yes, very, very fun.
Love it. All right.
Yes.
So I just need a quick survey. I'm going to shift gears. I appreciate you guys' contributions thus far. Before we go any further, we do have a guest on the line. We actually have a couple guests on the line. We have Masato coming in from Southern California. And I think Michelle is coming in also from Southern California. And we don't have a guest. This person lives in group coaching. Just Bling has just been a staple in this environment for many, many years. So we appreciate you. But Mara, what can our guests expect from this group? Like if you were to share with somebody what they can get from this group, what's something that they can expect?
What I get from this group is a lot of focus, direction, and support. I think that that's why I keep coming back, is it keeps my business centered. It's a great way for me to start the day. It gets me out of bed. In normal circumstances, it would be a little bit more put together, but we're working through some things over here. So,
Well,
but
my
that's for
friend,
me, just
you
direction
look amazing.
and
Look amazing. You're a beautiful soul inside and out, and I appreciate that. And I'm glad this group provides that for you. And so thank you guys for being here. Thank you to our guests. I did have a quick survey question before I pull up my slides. Should I, should I sell my bug and buy that? I think I know Mara's answer, but should I sell
Yes.
my bug and buy that?
you definitely should. Your bug
Abso-freaking-lutely.
is
Yep.
being a
Yes.
pain in the butt. Get rid of
Abso-freaking-lutely.
it.
So, okay, so I
Baby going
brought,
Wait,
baby's gonna
Elias,
need somewhere
Elias,
to go. It can't fit in the bug.
wait, Elias, you driving that instead of the bug, you'll be big pimping in that. What kind of car is that? I can't really see.
it's a 1966 Cadillac DeVille,
Oh, yeah. Oh, sold.
$15,000. So I'll
Sold.
sell my bug and just
Yes.
put that money right into that. So anyways,
100%. No question.
all right, my wife's like, where is that car going to go, babe? I said, we'll figure it out. She's like, it's so long. I was like, babe, it's a Cadillac from the 60s.
Yeah, they don't
Okay.
fit in your garage, just a heads up. Our
Oh, I know
Impala
that.
is like this far away from the.
So this is probably this much longer than the Impala, right? So if I got an Impala, she would be like, okay with it. But the Cadillac, she's not there yet. But anyways, I thought I would ask you guys that question. So buckle up because we are going to have some fun right now. And I'm going to pull this up. Now, I want to put a disclaimer out there. These questions are going to be pretty tough. Throw your hand up. Listen, this is why we practice in this environment, so we're not practicing with consumers. But I'm going to ask you some questions from the lens and the view of a consumer who is shopping for a home as a buyer. Now, that's the context of the conversation. Will it be hard? Of course. This is not just you came to some type of podcast. This is coaching. So we're going to do some really, really cool stuff right now. So are you guys ready? You guys ready for the questions? Yes, good. Camera's off. Okay. Let's go, you guys. I'm excited. Let's roll. All right, cool. So I'm going to pull these up on the screen. And then when you guys are ready, you're going to throw your hand up. And if you are not ready and no one throws their hand up, guess what I get to do? I guess just get to call on you. So if a consumer asked you, God, I love this. If a consumer asked you this one, outside of the MLS, Cassie, outside of the MLS, Mara, outside of the MLS, Aaron, Rosanna, Mizato, outside of the MLS, how else will you be prospecting for a home for me and my family? Outside of the MLS, how else will you be prospecting for a home for me and my family? Who wants to take that first one? I want to hear exactly what you would say to that consumer. Let me stop sharing my screen really quick. I'm going to go to you guys. All right, cool. I saw the hands go up real quick. So I'm going to go Blessing first. Kelly, you'll be second. And then Otis, you'll bring up the rear, my man. So Blessing, you are up, my friend. Let's go. Sun's out, guns out. Let's roll.
Well, Elias, I'm so glad that you asked me that question because I definitely am going to scour the MLS, but I'm part of EXP. And what we can do is tap into the EXP exclusive list, which is our VIP list for clients. It's our coming soons, it's our off markets that are only for EXP brokers. So I will be able to go there first. What I also like to do is I'm going to be boots on the ground. The neighborhood you want to go into, I'm going to start door knocking that area to try to find out what's going on, who's selling, and try to get that house for you before it ever hits someone else's radar. So that's what I'm prepared to do, as well as tapping into my entire network to see exactly what they have available to try to get you the best home.
Oh, okay, my friend. A couple of things I wrote down here. VIP, exclusive, boots on the ground, really, really powerful. Let me go to somebody. I want to get some feedback. Evelyn, what were some things you heard? Maybe not in the words, but maybe even in the tone and that delivery. Evelyn, what did you hear?
I just feel like she was super confident in what she was saying and she knew exactly what she was doing. It makes the consumer know that, like, she's done this before and it's worked, and I feel comfortable going with it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Let's go, Christina. You had a comment. Are you in your tech vest?
It's something I got at Costco. It makes me warm because it's
Let's
freezing
go.
here in Brentwood. Yeah, I heard like confidence, like you were direct. There wasn't a lot of ums or pauses. Like, so to that as a consumer, listening, it made me feel like, oh, this is like, she's confident, she's on it. Like, she's not trying to pull any BS, out from underneath her. So that was like, it just caught my attention immediately. That was good.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, because I believe that if a consumer is going to ask that, and this comes directly from a top agent that got asked that question, if a consumer is asking that, maybe they're thinking about, well, what do I actually pay you for? Right? Well, like you say, I'm going to pay you a commission of 2.5%. Well, what more are you going to do that I can't do for myself or find on Zillow?
And it made me feel special saying, like you saying, I have an exclusive list. To me, like, we know this about the real estate community because we're in it, right? The consumer doesn't. The consumer doesn't know that brokerages have an exclusive list, have like a website where, hey, this is a coming soon. They have no idea of that. They don't know. A lot of companies may or may not have that. So I'm also feeling special because I'm like, ooh, okay, Blessing, like you have this? Okay, I spoke to so-and-so and they didn't mention anything like this. So you're also providing value back to me as the consumer.
Yeah. And the fact that, Blessing, that you're willing to go knock on doors in a community where there might not be too many listings, that shows me that you're above and beyond. So really good stuff. I love that. Let's go to Kelly Hoker. Let me put the question back on the screen. So in case somebody came on a little bit later, outside of the MLS, how else will you be prospecting for me for a home for my family and I? Let's go, Hilker. You're muted.
Right, Elias. So I understand your concerns and I am here to go above and beyond. I not only have access to all of my EXP team, who are some of the top agents in all of the Bay Area, but I have tons of realtor friends. I'm going to reach out to everybody that I know and let them know what we're looking for. I'll pick up the phone. I will just call, random numbers that pop up with your needs and basically just go hunting to find you the home of your dreams. I will not stop until I finally find exactly what you and your family are looking for.
All right, beautiful. So again, sorry, it kind of cut in. So I love that you said this EXP team. Just so you guys know on this call, our team sold over 800 homes last year. So when it comes to understanding the demands of the buyers in the Bay Area and beyond, we understand that at a very, very high conscious level. And when you think about the leverage and we think about the team, it's like, hey, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to my team. I'm going to see how many people might have a coming soon and that I can leverage that fits the same criteria. So love the energy, love the confidence, love how you address their concerns early on. Well said, my friend. Otis, I think you were here and then you were not here. Are you back? Let's go, Otis.
Well, Elias, I'm glad you asked that. Don't strike me as a typical or average man, are you?
No.
And I don't think that you should align yourself with the typical or average agent. I think that that was a great question. And the way I would answer it is that I work with great title reps. Now, I'm able to get with my title rep to find that specific area and other areas, just in case those areas that you're going to are competitive markets and you're okay with looking at something just a little bit outside of those areas, Elias, what I could do is I can reach out to one of my great title reps at Chicago Title and ask him for homes all in those areas. And the way I'll break it down, Elias, is I'll look over those homes at anywhere that had a last recorded date of 10 plus years, because that tells me, that data right there, Elias, tells me those people are more liable to want to work with us in selling their home so you can buy it. So I like to take the initiative of working smarter instead of harder. Like another agent might be able to tell you that, but would they have the bandwidth to be able to pinpoint it and go to the exact house that might be willing to do that? I don't know if you're on a timetable. Are you and your family on a timetable? Or are you looking into the next 30, 60, 90, 120 days? Can you give me a little information on that?
Yeah, probably within the next, 4 months, we'd like to be in the house.
Okay. Well, the good thing is I won't just be working out here by myself. EXP, we have over 100,000 agents, and we have quite a bit of those here in the Bay Area. So not only can I reach out to some of those, I am on a super mega team of 250 agents. Those are 250 of my brothers and sisters that are scouring the Bay Area as we speak. And I'm pretty sure one or two of them might be in your area already. So it would just take me tapping in with them to say, hey, you guys are more boots on the ground right here in this area. Is there anything coming up that you possibly might think that suit this buyer of mine? So those are some of the things that I can do, as well as off-market opportunities. I've been in the business for 5 years and made a lot of relationships. So I'm pretty more than 100% confident that if you take a gamble and work with me, that I can deliver that house for you in that time period.
Love it, my man. I love it. I love the confidence. I love the angle of title. You see, we had three different answers, and everybody said something a little bit different. Blessing talked about EXP exclusives and a VIP experience. Kelly talked about the EXP team, and then Otis talked about title as well as the team. Just a couple corrections really quick. Otis, we only have 215 agents, not 250. And then there's not 100,000 people at this company yet. We're going to get there in the next couple of years, but not yet.
I'm speaking into an existence, my boy.
That's right. That's right. All right, you guys, well done. Let's give them some love, some light, some positive encouragement. It's really, really hard doing that in this environment, but that was really, really good. Let's continue cruising on. I'm going to go here. I'm going to pull up the next one. Okay. All right, let's go here. This one is rooted in communication, you guys. All right, let's go here. Let's go here, and let me present this one. Now, three other people. So Blessing and Otis and Kelly, they already went. And so we're going to have somebody else get on the mic, brave like they were. How often will I be hearing from you through the process, especially during escrow? Like, what does that look like? How often do I hear from you? I don't know how this relationship even works. I'm really new to this. And so, who wants to answer that one? How often will I be hearing from you through the process, especially during escrow? I'm scared. I'm fearful. I don't know about any of this. So, who's going to answer that question? And I'm going to give you 5 seconds to throw your hands up, or someone will be called to the carpet. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, cool. I got one person to answer that question. Remember where you guys are. This is Keep It Moving group coaching. This is supposed to be hard, so it's easier when you get asked these questions from your consumers. So I'm going to pause for a second. I need 2 more people to throw their hand up. There's one, and I need 1 more. Perfect. All right, Mara, let's roll. How do you address that? How do you answer that?
So, as you've learned with our time together, I am an over communicator. So, I will be willing to talk to you as many times or as few times as you want to know. If you're nervous about this, I can let you know with every single step of the way during escrow, whether we are talking about your earnest money deposit, whether we are talking about the different changes in any of the contracts. Sometimes we do addendums. Right now, I'm in a contract that we're changing the date of escrow. So I want to keep you informed. You're going to tell me how often you want to talk, and we can talk as often or as little as you would like.
And now every time I see a house that I want to go see, are you going to set that up? How do we do that?
I thought we were in escrow. You already
Oh,
have
no,
a
no.
house.
So through the process as well as escrow. So it's
Oh,
both.
okay. Like we're in
Yeah,
escrow.
it's both.
I was specifically focusing on escrow. Put the question up again because I thought we were in
Yeah.
escrow.
No, it's both, my friend. So, but that part of it. So, how often will I be hearing through you through the process, especially during escrow? So, for the second part
Especially
of it
during
was,
escrow.
yeah, especially. So, the first part, like, how often do I hear from you? How often do we go see houses? What does that look like?
That's entirely up to you. It's based on your schedule. We can set up a weekly meeting where we talk every week and I can go over all of the new homes that are on the market. If there's anything that changes with your specific criteria, I want to know that right away. So if you decide that you see a house and you really like this aspect of the house, whether it's just something that comes through on your Real Scout update or you drive by in your neighborhood, I want to know that right away. So I want you to know you want to reach out to me as often as possible with any questions or changes in your search. And I will do the same with you as far as making sure we're on the same page throughout the whole process.
Okay, I love the use of Real Scout in this conversation to say, listen, I'm going to be able to see your analytics. I'm here to help you, to serve you. As soon as you see something, you let me know. That way we can strike and move fast. And so absolutely love that, Mara. Let's go over to Aaron. Chris, what do you have for us, big dog? Really good stuff, Mara. Same thing. How often will I be hearing from you? Tell me about your communication. And then also tell me about your communication during escrow and what that looks like.
Elias, I appreciate that question. Communication is a big thing to me. I typically will follow up with all my buyers while we're actively looking in the market on Mondays and Fridays. Mondays to kind of see what's going on in the market, and to identify new listings, and then Friday to build out a game plan for open houses, things like that. But what I encourage you to do is reach out to me as much as possible as well. If you have any questions, don't hesitate for a minute thinking any questions too small to reach out to me and call, because it's extremely important that you have a clear understanding of everything during this process in order to make this decision. And we want you at the end of the day to feel that you made the right decision. And the only way you can do that is by us communicating. So once we're in escrow, we're going to go over, just like we discussed in the buyer's consultation, each step of the process as they approach. We're going to communicate regularly with our lender. So there's going to be a lot of communication, but in the beginning, when we're searching for homes, typically it's Mondays and Fridays. I will reach out with new market updates and a game plan for the weekend search. And again, I really mean this. Anytime you need something, do not hesitate to reach out to me. That is the reason why I'm here. That's the reason why we're working together. And that's the way that you'll have full confidence in this process.
I love Mara, Aaron, both of your guys' level of advocacy and truly letting the consumer know that you're going to be there for them. Aaron, I love how you framed this. I appreciate that question, right? I appreciate that question. So that's your ability to really frame that question. And then the strategy on Monday, we're looking for new inventory, things that just hit the market. And then on Friday, we're strategizing and creating our calendar for the weekend so we can go out and see open houses. That's a really clear strategy. It's a proven process. It works. And having a game plan. Like I feel like if I was talking to you as a consumer and that was my concern, I feel that you would have addressed that concern and I'm ready to move forward. So great job to both of you guys. Rosanna, I'm going to go to you, my friend. Have you answer this question? And then we're going to go to Gary. If that was, I think I saw a hand of yours, Gary. Let's go, Rosanna.
Okay, I'm going to read my notes. Okay, my answer is going to be, I have no guessing policy. You will hear from me every Tuesday morning with with an update of our
Yeah.
progress. Okay. Escrow is a high stakes period with many moving parts. I will provide you a milestone tracker so you always know exactly where we are, from inspections and appraisal to loan approval and closing. You will get a heads up text 24 hours before any major deadline, so there are never any surprises. During
Okay.
the
Okay.
day,
Wow. Okay.
I'm going to be focused on moving your deal forward. However, I guarantee a response to any text or call within 2 or 3 hours. You will never go to bed wondering what is happening with your home. And yeah, I prefer to over communicate. I would rather you tell me I'm giving you too much info than feel like you are in the dark. So, in escrow, no news is usually good news, but I will still call you to tell you that is good news so you can sleep so easy.
Okay. All right. Listen.
I know.
And by the way, you guys, Rosanna is new to real estate. English is her second language. And the fact that you wrote that out very, very clear, setting very, very clear expectations about what happens during escrow, mile markers or milestones throughout the escrow. I thought that was really, really good. So I want to hear from you guys. Let's get some feedback from Mara, from Aaron, from Rosanna. I thought that was really, really powerful. Let's go over to Brandy and let's go over to Gary. Then Gary, I will have you contribute as well, but I'm actually going to shift gears. I'm going to give you another question. So Brandy, give me a thought, contribution, dialogue, or takeaways from what was just shared.
I love the timeline and the whole overall expectations, setting the expectations with our clients, and letting them know this is our entire process without any guesswork to it.
Yeah, totally. I absolutely love it because I've said this time and time again. Unspoken expectations lead to premeditated resentment. This is why consumers have a very, very low rating of agents in the United States of America. We have to make sure they do the best job of spelling everything out and making sure we're mitigating their stress and mitigating their fears. And I think that, Otis, I'm going to have you mute yourself really quick, big dog. Hold on. All right, I got him. I think that's exactly what those three just did. Gary, let's hear from you. Great contribution, Brandy. Give me a key thought, key takeaway from what you just heard, my friend. Let's roll.
I mean, to me, some of the key words she used like milestones, milestone markers, like during the escrow. But what she did that I noticed was she mixed business with pleasure. What is that, Gary? That means I'm breaking down what's happening at the same time. I'm going to give you a feeling. This so you can sleep good at night, so you don't have to worry. Like she threw feelings with process, right? So to me, it hammers home a lot easier. Instead of just bop 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 bop, she almost gave the consumer how they should feel about her doing it. And I think that's, like you said, leading expectation. Like you should be able to sleep good at night. Good, that's a great.
Yeah, I absolutely like this. I loved you guys' contribution. Loved your flow on this. I make them a video so every single person gets the same full detailed message, overview, and expectations, emotional intelligence. I also like how you confirm the call with any questions. Sometimes consumers aren't sure who they go to for questions between realtor and lender. Also, I think it's important, since we're talking about that escrow process, like making sure that you introduce and you explain who the transaction coordinator is. That's the liaison of communication. That's the person that's helping us make all these milestones. And they're going to communicate between lender, title, as well as us. And so, well done, you guys. I thought that was really poetic. I'm going to go over to you next, Gary. So Gary, I'm going to go to you, and I need two other people while Gary's sharing to get their hands up as well. Gary, from a consumer, what type of strategies, or how do you advocate for me and my offer that have gotten your past clients' offers accepted? Now, this is a little bit different for you. Obviously, you're newer. And so if you want to pass on that one, we could pass on that one. But I think you have an answer for that, bro. So let's go.
Yeah, I might be able to do that. Can I see the question one more time?
Yes, sir. All right, I'm gonna go here. What type of strategies, or how do you advocate for me and my offer that have gotten your past clients' offers accepted?
Man, Elias, so glad you asked that question. When you're talking strategies and getting accepted, that's what I'm about. We don't like to write offers, we like to write contracts. So what I do is I try to make myself very good relationship with whoever the listing agent is. I try to make myself called, like, soon as let me rephrase that. Got caught up. So I become friends with the listing agent. I make multiple phone calls to this person, not just about the property, but also about real life. I find out what's going on, try to make an emotional connection. Because I know when it's time to put an offer in, it's not just money. It might be timeline, it might be easy close. So we have to know not just our top dollar, we need to be flexible or understand what the listing agent promised the person that's selling the house. So we want to make sure we meet within their timeline. And then because of my relationship, we're able to get answers faster. So nothing worse than sitting around with maybes. We want to know if it's a yes or no, or if we got to make a counteroffer as fast as possible. So my relationship's going to make me a priority with this agent. So we're at least going to get answers and maybe get some information that they might accidentally tell us that they might not tell someone else.
Wow. Solid, bro. Solid. I love this. And here's what I love what you just did. And I'm sure you guys noticed it. He just made a course correction. He's like, hold on. Let me say that a little bit differently. And then he had a course correction and then got his words out. And so really, really powerful. And it's hard in this scenario to do that and do that fluidly. So really, really good job. I'm actually going to go over to Jess Bling. You are up next, my friend. I'm going to have you answer this question. Same thing. What type of strategies, or how do you advocate for me and my offer that have gotten your past clients' offers accepted? Share with me a case study and how you've served somebody else. I'm going to have you share that. Ashley, if you can just take over for 1 second. I'm on the same exact train that Otis was talking about in the chat, but I'm going to have Jess Bling go. So go ahead.
I wanted to see the question before you took off.
Ashley, hold on.
Question.
I know where you're going, Elias, but I need that question.
Hold on. What type of strategies, or how do you advocate for me and my offer that have gotten your past clients' offers accepted?
Okay, cool. That's actually a really good question, and it's part of what we were getting ready to go over. So there's several things that we do, and it's not just on the listing side, right? I'm building a relationship with the listing agent to define what's really important to the sellers, but I'm also connecting with your lender to see if there's any gray spots or any red flags that we should be concerned about. And so once I'm making that connection, I'm selling you as a client to the listing agent. We're going to talk about capabilities without divulging too much information. But my whole point in connecting with that listing agent is to build more rapport, to see what's important to the sellers, and then figure out ways with all of the information that I have to help package you with a pretty bow as a very solid buyer without miscommunicating anything or misleading them in any way.
I love that. And I think you guys had something similar in in common is that you're both building that rapport with the listing agent and then using Match Talk to make sure that your buyer meets the requirements of what they're looking for. So, I mean, as a lender, we see all of the accepted contracts, we see what works, right? And we see what's working in the market. And I can tell you firsthand experience, that is exactly it. That's what works. It's the agents that befriend the listing agent that can create that emotional connection, get their guard down, get more information, and then use, just like you said, Jess, use that Match Talk to, without, letting anything important slip, but use that Match Talk to set your client up to be what they're looking for and get that offer accepted because you've built that trust and that emotional connection. Thank you.
Jess, how'd you do?
How did,
Amazing.
oh, Ash, I'm sorry.
Hey, Jess, in this last year, when you think about concessions, your ability to negotiate to get the client's offer accepted, get them a really good deal. Like if you had to equate that into dollars that you saved your consumers in the last year or last 2 years, what is that number?
Oh my goodness. I would say for maybe the last 10 to 15 buyers that I've helped, we've gotten at least $10,000 back per client for concessions towards closing costs, towards repairs. It's been crazy, but it's been really good negotiations.
I think that that's a powerful, powerful thing to insert in your buyer consultation if you're not doing that already. And I would put that on a spreadsheet and be like, over the last 2 years, I've been able to serve X amount of clients. And through my helping, negotiation, and asking and building great relationships, I was able to save my consumers an estimate of X amount through concessions, so on and so forth. Like it shows the data and the proof that you're out there negotiating hard on their behalf. So Jess, I absolutely love that. Really good stuff. Ashley, let's go over to you and then we'll go to Gary's hand and then we're going to shift gears to the last question of the conversation today.
I just wanted to share, I have seen that data presented on a slide before, and another way that you can use it is you can compare it to 2021. You can show if you were in the business or even if you weren't, the average seller's credit that you could get in 2021, 2022 when rates were at 3%, and then show all the seller credits you got in 2025 or that people in general, if you haven't specifically, people in general have in 2025 and show like, okay, rates are higher, but look at this, look at what we're able to do on your behalf in this market. And it really wakes the buyer and the consumer up to, oh, wow, I thought, the interest rate was the only thing we were focusing on, but this is amazing.
Yeah. Well done, you guys. Well done. Gary, you had a quick hand up. Let's go to you. Then we're going to go to one last question to start to wrap session. Let's roll.
I was just going to add one trick I do to get closer to the listing agent that I forgot to mention. When I talk to him, like for instance, we went and looked at the house this weekend for Hector. The listing agent's Jose. I called him. The super box wasn't on the door yet. It was supposed to be. I was like, hey, no problem. And he came and met me out there while I'm in front of him. I said, man, you got an Instagram? He goes, yeah, I got an Instagram. So I went to his Instagram. And when I left, we met right there. But when I left, I went to his page and liked and left comments with my real estate page and my regular page. And next thing you know, this dude's following me and he's in my DM like, oh my God, dude, like we got to connect outside of real estate. And you'll be surprised what happens when you're nice to someone. Even people on this call post every day, and you're going to notice when someone new leaves a comment and a like, especially another real estate agent that's not part of the team. That's your opportunity to get closer to someone outside our sphere so we can move our influence.
Yeah, man. Really, really powerful. Really good stuff. Absolutely love this. And let's go here, you guys. Here's the last one. What can you tell me about the local and national real estate market? What type of market are we in? And how does this impact me as a buyer? Right? I'm new. I've read some stuff. I see some stuff online, but like, what can you tell me about the market and what type of market we're in? And what does that look like for me on the horizon as a buyer? And is there any benefits, impact, negative, positive? Like, what does that look for like? I'm looking to you for some guidance. So please educate me. Who's going to throw their hand up and handle that question? And once again, don't be shy. This is group coaching. This isn't group listening. And Rosanna, I love you, but you can't go again. I love you all.
Okay.
But thank you for the tenacity. So we have now 38 people still here on this call. Started out at 45. I need at least 2 people to throw their hands up for this one. And I'll wait. It doesn't need to be Otis because he'll go. Doesn't need to be Ashley. She'll go. Doesn't need to be blessing. She'll go. So am I going to have to call on somebody? D. Bledsoe, and I need one more bold soul to grab the mic and spit some fire. Why am I waiting, you guys? I need to know. Help me out. Why am I waiting for somebody just to throw their hand up and get involved in the conversation? This is practice. So I'm expecting you guys to practice. So I'm going to pause for a second. I need one more person to throw their hand up. Thank you, Joanne. Let's go, D. Bledsoe.
Good morning. Yes, this Oakland market specifically is a busy market, and busy is a good thing for your purchase because the busier it is and the busier the outlook is, the more certain you are that you're accruing equity over time, and that's important for your investment. So say you need to sell in 3 to 5 years, depending on what you come in at. If you're undervalued when you purchase this home, you're going to have equity in this home when you think about going to sell it. So as an investment standpoint, best thing you can do. So busy is a good thing, but with that, you need to keep in mind what has to be done to ultimately reach your goal of purchasing a home in this busy market.
And D, are we in a seller's market or are we in a buyer's market?
Again, both. I'd say we're in both. Sellers are getting what they want, and it's pocket based, like it's neighborhood based. So some neighborhoods are more sought after, so they're going to fetch a higher price point and more competition. But it's a seller's market in the way that sellers are not necessarily losing across the board. And it's a buyer's market in the way that, again, you're accruing equity in your purchase. So that means that you're reaping a benefit as a buyer.
Man, I absolutely love this. And I love what Ashley just put. I love that it's pocket based because, yeah, there's some communities, it's always going to be a seller's market, right? They're always going to have the upper hand. And there's other communities that it's truly a balanced or more balanced buyer's market. And so I love this pocket based tug of war type of market, that mentality. And I think that there's no other better depiction in the state than right here in the Bay Area. We are a microclimate. We can go 2 towns over. Prices can be completely different. We can go 1 town over. Could be super, super high demand, very, very high listing price, multiple offers. So I really, really appreciate that sentiment. All right, Joanne, you're going to bring us home, my friend. You're going to be the last contribution. Tell me a little bit about the market locally, nationally. What can I expect? I just need a little bit of guidance from you right now as a consumer.
Sure. So the market varies so much by state, by city, even by neighborhood. So there are some neighborhoods in the same city that are buyers markets. There's some neighborhoods that are sellers markets. So as you were just saying, there are some areas that are always high demand that the sellers are always going to be having the upper hand, but even so, we can work together to try to get you the best deal, to try to get you the best price for the house. Um, you know, I we can definitely do a lot of research for different areas. So whatever area you're interested in, I'm going to be doing as much research as I can to find out about what is exactly going on in that market. The market has definitely picked up in the past couple weeks since the new year. People are done with their holidays. They're ready to be looking forward. So right now is a great time to jump in before springtime when everybody's kind of jumping in at the same time.
Well said, my friend. Well said. Listen, you guys, I thought this was a really, really good exercise because these are questions that came directly from consumers to a top agent in our industry. And so I think it's important that we're always practicing our dialogue, having an understanding of economics, baseline understanding of economics, where the business is going. And I want you guys to be able to share that information in a way that is able, as someone else is able to understand at a very, very simple level. So we'll do more things like this. We'll do more provoking questions to make sure that we're practicing. And I want to encourage you guys, if you come to coaching, I want you to look at the people who constantly talk. And the reason why I want you to look at the people that constantly talk is I will also want you to look at their production. And I say this because I love you guys. I feel that this creates really, really uncomfortable moments for us. This is a pressure cooker. And I believe that if you can apply pressure on yourself, then you're going to be more apt to do that when you are not on the call. So when I ask for people to throw up their hands, you guys should all be like, all right, coach, just throw me in. I'm ready to go. Because we need to practice. We need to apply pressure and we need to apply tension because that's what's going to build resolve. And so I want you guys to be, I love our user usual suspects, don't get me wrong. But I want more usual suspects to get involved in the conversation, and I don't want to be reaching for your guys' engagement. So you guys come here, get involved in the conversation, share your collective wisdom, because I promise you, even if you're brand new and you haven't spoken on group coaching, you have something powerful to add to the conversation. I know you do. Everybody does. So I want to push you and encourage you and implore you to get involved in the conversation. Blessing, bring us home, my friend. What do you got for us?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, this was really good. And for someone who does comment a lot or raise my hand, yesterday I was recording a reel, and it's been a while since I've recorded. I was so tongue-tied and frustrated because I hadn't been speaking, even now I just get tongue-tied again, but I hadn't been fresh, or I wasn't sharp when it came to recording. So raising your hand here, like, even with every single question, you just want to make sure you're sharp, because if you hesitate in that moment, it can cost you a deal and all of those referrals. So someone just told me, never miss an opportunity to pray for someone, never miss an opportunity to raise your hand and get feedback, especially in this environment, because it is only going to make you that much sharper. So raise your hands.
Yeah, just raise your hand, get involved in the conversation. I think about the growth of, Blessing, Otis, and, Brianna's, Ashley. Like, I could just look around, like Dee Bledsoe, and it's been so incredible to watch you guys evolve and grow, and allow this to be a proving ground for you. Allow this to be what it is. This is coaching for you guys. So I wanted to serve as that, not you guys coming just to listen to me. I'm always going to provide you dialogue, thoughts, and contribution, but I want your guys' voice in this call. So listen, wonderful, wonderful session. I appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate all of the dialogue, all of the hard work that we did today. Let's go to 2 people, get a takeaway. Excuse me. Let's go to Carlos and let's go to Morgan. Give me 1 key takeaway, then we'll go to Morgan and we'll wrap session. Carlos, we lost you, buddy.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah, we lost your camera.
Dope. So I'm definitely very juiced. I wrote down all of these questions out personally so I can actually have answers for people next time. And so I definitely got a lot of key takeaways. One question I do have is this EXP exclusive list. Is that the one that's on Team Fast on the Slack channel, or is that something different?
Yeah, so it's called Zen List. So we'll make sure to, we'll just take that conversation offline. Every single one of you as an agent has that. And if you go into your EXP portal, your My EXP app, you can access it there. But if you don't know how to, we'll take that offline. I'll help you get involved in that.
Perfect.
Good stuff. You look good. Looking forward to seeing all the pictures from your trip. Let's go, Morgan. Morgan, 1 key thought, 1 key takeaway from our time together. Big dog, let's roll.
Actually, I really loved today's session. I loved seeing the questions and hearing everybody's feedback. That definitely gives me something to think about. And I loved the way that everyone worded things like exclusive and leverage, and boots on the ground. Those are all just words that I think about, but they never come out naturally. So I need to make sure that I'm using words like that when I'm speaking with my clients and potential clients.
That's right. And the whole VIP experience, that feels and sounds different. Everybody else can send stuff from the MLS, but what are we going to do that's above and beyond? Remember who we are. We're extraordinary. We're not average. Lindsay talks about the force of average. There's a force out there trying to help, or trying to make everybody average. Well, we're not here to be average. I didn't get my real estate license to just be average and kind of get by. I got in this business to be extraordinary and do extraordinary things for myself and for my family. And that's what I want for myself. So that force of average is always going to be there. That force of average is always going to try to keep you mediocre. You have an opportunity to be great, and I'm here for that, you guys. So listen, I appreciate you. If you need anything, let me know. I'm going to see some of your beautiful faces in a couple hours at Hustlers Lunch, and I'm excited to celebrate you guys. And so if you need anything, please let me know. And as always, my friends, as always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision to make today a day that truly matters. Peace, my friends.